No, Vinland Saga, all you have to say is, yo, they farmed again. You know, that's it.
There's more than farming.
It's about the friends they made along the way.
Goddamn right. And the slaves they sold while going.
Speaking of slaves, hey, NASA.
Yeah, hold on. Making sure you knew.
Yep, cross-examining. We're back. I'm Matt. That's Justus. It's episode 132. We're talking about the Seal Estate. That's Insomniacs, Magus Bride, Kubo, Mashle, Tanikawa. We're starting with Insomniacs. Yeah, we should go out later tonight and go take some nighttime photos.
Too much air or light pollution.
Well, it's not like we're gonna walk down the street and don't talk like let's take like a 20-minute drive out to the countryside where if someone could get murdered, we might take photos. There might be a dead body.
No, it's boring.
It's not. What? Taking photos at night? Have you ever gone out and taken photos at night?
Yes, I did.
That doesn't count until.
I mean, I did.
All right, let's go take a night sky photo. Let's go down to Sailorville. I will say all 3 episodes. We watched episode 3, 4, 5, 6, which is most of these. Was that? It felt very fluid. It felt very conjoined. It felt like one really long episode. 100% thought the teacher was going to catch them on the beach sleeping together.
Not like that.
Well, they were actually sleeping. There was multiple episodes that people were like sleeping together. What Magus, Tanikawa, and this all had references to they sleep together, but not sex. They just actually sleep in the same bed.
Yeah, they're falling in love.
I mean, he's already fallen in love. We already saw that in episode 3. Like I said, our boy needs to dick her down. I like the sound of your heart is multiple times what she said.
Yes. We are also getting some Yurla and April warning signs. She took some medication and had said, like, make sure I'm remembered, like, when talking about getting more photos.
I think this is going to be more of a I want to eat your pancreas kind of thing.
Well, I mean, she already mentioned that she was sick when she was younger with an illness.
I mean, listen, she's probably going to die. My guess if they were going to...
God, that'd be so fucked.
You know what they would do? I guarantee you. So this episode, she mentions that, right? Mm-hmm. Which means next episode, he's going to ask her about it. In episode 8, they're probably going to have a big, break.
In, episode 1, it was mentioned.
No, but, this week, she was like, remember me or something like that. But then next week, he'll probably ask her about it. They'll do nothing. The week after, they'll have a big fight about it. And then he'll know he truly fell in love with her. And I guarantee you in episode 9, the next time we talk about this, she'll either A, be dead, or B, be in critical condition. And he takes a photo, one last great photo of her looking at her hospital window and at the starry sky. I haven't read ahead, so that's how it turns out. I mean, I'm just an artist, so I know exactly how that's going to turn out.
Oh, what if she's actually not that sick at all? She's just being melodramatic.
Maybe, I don't know. She didn't really take any medication because that was medication 2 cups. I thought you were talking about when they're camping, right? Mm-hmm. I thought that was just regular medication for everybody, like an ibuprofen or something. Like it. I mean,
it felt like a weird thing to cut focus to and then quickly.
I don't think she's actually terminally sick. I think they're just using that as an excuse of why she's like this. But I think she's maybe thinking about killing herself.
God, that'd be fun.
That'd be 2 fuck things in 1 week if you guys haven't seen Oshinoko.
You haven't even seen it.
Yeah, but it was all over Twitter and I made a tweet and I saw everything.
You didn't see enough. You should watch it instead of...
Big thing too this week. So 4 friends are big within this. They're planning their whole... what was it called?
It's a
astronomy meteor shower watch party.
Yeah.
Which she showed the poster that definitely looked like eggs. But then they posed and they made him get naked. Basically, no. He still had his pants on.
Just take his shirt off. There's a big difference between naked and just removing his shirt.
That woman totally wanted him to be naked because she was blushing now the pants. And then she starts going eek. And then obviously Isaki
Magiri
is nah, that's too far. And I was that was too far. Make him go shirtless. Put your shirt back on. Now you two get close together, hold hands, kiss. And it's not kiss. They get close. He should have. That would have been the perfect time to get in on it. Just lay in a little smooch.
Real quick, the teacher that is kind of something of the astronomy club.
She's the sponsor. So it seems like in I don't know for sure in Japanese schools you need a sponsor for the club. So a teacher that kind of looks out. I mean, we had that in our school too.
So within these episodes, the teacher has tried to assault a student, drinks, definitely not water, during a camping
Well, they all
event.
had beer.
Well, that was the next night, but while they were all drinking tea, she's over there drinking clearly
I gotta
sake.
say, the way she's picking up the glass and they do that, it's like, kind of looks cool in anime. In real life, that is the most inconvenient way to pick up a glass. No one drinks like this.
And then she vapes. And it's like,
yeah, I knew you were definitely going to mention that, oh, she vapes, so she must be real cool.
No, it's not even that. It's just one of those, like...
Well, of course she vaped. She was smoking a cigarette, like, a couple of frames earlier.
Well, compared to other teachers or just kind of how some teachers are portrayed, she's very much...
The only other teacher that mattered was the one that worked out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He's like literally he's making the boys... It's like 5 o'clock in the morning or 5:30. He's like, okay, boys, let's go for another lap. You should work out till you tire yourself out and go to bed. It's like...
Yeah, that guy's
nah,
a jackass.
Nah. Now remember, our boy said he's an asshole.
Both.
I don't know if that was the direct translation or maybe it was changed a little to match the Americans, but that just came out of nowhere from the boy. Because he got in trouble for going out late at night, which I still don't see how that's really a problem.
I don't see how it's
I guess it's because
school's problem.
Yeah. I guess it's maybe different there than here, because, I mean, I went out plenty of nights just wandering the ghetto streets of Des Moines.
Yeah, it just seems strange that would be.
But I mean, a lot of animes have done that, so I wonder if that is a just thing over there. Maybe it's like
possibly
higher end school. I shouldn't say higher end schools, but like more preppier schools do that.
At some point, especially because they take the time to acknowledge that the guy is basically an honor student.
Yeah.
Does it matter as long as his grades don't drop?
Maybe they're just looking out for him. Maybe that's the whole point of it. They don't want him dropping or getting lower grades.
Yeah.
Right?
Well.
Nothing else really happened minus you meet...
Homeboy's name's Ken. He's a dick.
Yeah. Well, you met 3 other... So we've met 4 people that are important to the story. I'm going to blast through them real quick. So Motoko, she is the girl that's kind of a bitch. 2, our boy won't help out. Then they find out, oh, if you just leave her around, she'll show up. But she's also in charge of helping the local shop or like
her parents' restaurant.
Yeah, I don't know what they call that. It's not quite a Korean hot pot thing. It's something like that. So she does that, and I think she'll be important in the story later on because she is kind of a bitch on there, and she'll try and. My guess is what'll happen is a lot of people will decide not to come to the astronomy club's meteor shower party, right? A couple days before. She's going to be to go, let's all go watch it, blah, blah, blah. I'll be there. Something along those lines. But then you meet...
I think there's
Kanami.
too much prep. I think people are already going to show up.
Well, there's Kanami, and I like this story because you're getting to know more about these gals, because Kanami is on the softball/baseball team, but she wants to be a pitcher. It's something along those lines.
Yeah.
And then it's a whole thing. But that's about all I got for this week of Insomniacs, unless you got something else.
Yes, and it's just a small thing, because of course the 2 main characters kind of relationship is evolving into feelings a bit more obviously, of course. On multiple occasions, other characters have been like, nah, I don't want to be a third wheel in this whole thing, because you have Yui.
Well, the shop owner.
Yeah.
Well, they're getting all lovey-dovey in her house or trailer home thing.
Apartment. She's like, I need to go in, but I don't want to interrupt. And then even Tao, his friend, like, dips, and he's like, nah, I just don't want to be a third wheel. Just and
it's nice to see the supportive friends in the actual story on there.
Yes, and then you get that one dick that won't let our main character just try to sleep, just on the bus. Like,
it's high school, man. What do you want? People are gonna be like that.
You're going on you would be like that. You would be that dude. If I was to sit.
No, if you were sitting sleeping on there, take the flight to Japan, for example. Didn't bother anyone that slept because I couldn't sleep. But it's like you're going on a trip with all your buddies. Might as well like hang out on the bus.
Yes.
He's definitely in the extreme minority of like, I just can't sleep at night, so I'm just going to try and sleep on the bus.
Well, yes, but at some point when you have earbuds in, an eye mask.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother anybody like that. Make me seem like a
but
terrible guy.
That dude's a dick. Like multiple times.
He's trying to be
like, hey, buddy.
He's trying to be friends with our boys. Just leave him alone.
He needs to take a cue and not be a douche.
My boy.
Also, we wanted to go sneak over to the girls' tents, and he's a pervert.
Listen, that is every.
He's an asshole and a pervert.
Oh, pot calling the kettle black.
He deserves death.
How do you know he's pervert? Maybe he wanted to go hang out with the girls. There was nothing perverted about that. He wanted to go hang out with the girls.
Real late at night. It seems.
You just assume that or in it for the sex, Justice? That's
They're high schoolers.
That's pretty misogynistic of you there.
They're high schoolers. Come on now.
Oh, what do you mean? Come on now. Maybe he just wants to be good friends with them.
Right.
I know I'm right on there. Thank you, Justice, for saying that I'm right. You know who else is right?
No idea.
Cheese.
Oh God, dude. You need to work on your segues.
No, I was going to have a better one, but then you kept talking. I was like, oh, shoot, there goes my good point on there. Important things that happened this week. So
Ancient Magus Bride Season 2.
We watched episodes 4, 5, 6.
Yes.
And that's important. What's really important is at the end of episode 6, where they have the final, like they actually have the conversation of what is happy, because you learn out that Elias still has trouble figuring out certain human emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And that Chise is teaching Elias about humans and how to be a human. And then Elias is teaching Chise what basically wizards are or mages and how to be a mage. So the apprentice has become the master, and then the master has become the apprentice in this never-ending circle on there. What's important about this, Justice, is that they kind of get some closure of like, yes, I'm your apprentice and apprentices leave. But yes, I'm your bride and we'll stick together. And then Chise just had to say the random comment of, well, the divorce rate's pretty high in this day and age. I'm like, oh, come on, woman.
I mean, not wrong.
She's not wrong. But they do have the adorable moment of like, I won't leave. I'll stay. Let's hug. And it was like, oh, it's so adorable. The holding her, hugging her.
And then you have Alice that's clearly struggling with the I don't want to be your daughter. Like,
I'm still a little confused on what she technically wants to be. She doesn't want to be her daughter, but she also wants to be her lover, kind of. But she just wants to protect them.
She doesn't want to be his daughter, but she definitely wants him to, like, some daddy things going on.
No, what you wanted to say is she definitely doesn't want to be called daughter, but she wants to call him daddy.
Yes, but.
I mean, maybe she just listen. It's that thing of like she wants to protect them. She doesn't want to be protected. She wants to do the protecting on it. Then how much older is he? He's got to be at least 20 years older. If she's in college, and he looks the same way he saw her as a kid, and he was like a professional then,
probably like 35 or 40.
He's got to be at least 40. He's got to be at least 20 years older than her.
I mean, it kind of depends. Even the last decade, from 18 to almost 28, I still look exactly the same. So
that's 10 years. This is almost 20 years.
Yes, but in her case, like from college, if you consider a 10-year time period of someone who's in college, they could be 8 to being an adult, Matt. So
it's wrong. He's like 50. Did you mention that wizards do live a little bit longer? So maybe he's a few hundred. It's okay. He's a few hundred years old. Is what you're telling me right now.
Sure. We do get introduced to Rahab. The right after the mist takes Chise, and you find out that she's the one who taught Elias essentially how to be a human. For the most part.
Well, she tried to teach him how to be human and explain most things. Because she did.
She taught 90%. There were a couple things like being happy and stuff like that that she couldn't teach.
Well, the problem is she taught him, but it seems like a lot of the stuff she taught him wasn't really, really well thought out. It's just kind of like it's like what you tell a child, and then you like don't fully explain it. You let the child go figure out the rest themselves. I mean, because he was basically an adult when she was still trying to teach him.
Yes.
Or that's also, what I assume, because he went from small form to big form.
Like seeing Elliot just as a fucking little squirt with his big ass head.
A chibi form?
Yeah, essentially.
No, but you do, what was it? Renfried, sorry. The dude, right? Mm-hmm. You find out, I thought like he's always had those scars, and then they just added more to the scars.
Yeah.
And then he got his arm chopped off. I don't know. Since watching season 1, I think this was just a reminder of what happened, because you already know this happened. They're like, then they dedicated like 50% of an episode to this same thing that happened again.
Yes. Well, in your
which
case,
I felt like it was kind of a waste.
No, because in your case, you've binged it. In everyone else's case, who's been waiting, which is more than.
It didn't have to be a whole episode. It could have been like a 5-minute like.
I don't feel like it
Because
even dedicated a whole episode of it, because
I
like
didn't
the
say
big huh.
I didn't even say a whole episode. Half an episode.
And I didn't.
It was still like half the whole episode. It was like, this was like 10 minutes of just like, that could have been condensed down to like even 3, and then give a little more background, because they were trying to give her.
It's still been like 6 years. Like
they were just trying to give her
before.
some more background for it on there of like what her opinion was, even though you already know what her opinion was of it. Does that make sense?
I thought it was fine. We also Ivy is basically a Medusa.
Well, they given it. It's like
a Gorgon.
Gorgon, yeah. I keep wanting to say maybe Gorgon, but I feel like that's what they also called the things in Zelda. Long story short, Medusa-looking people, and then how he was born is, his dad met his mom, clapped some fucking Medusa cheeks, and then the big thing in the story was, yeah, and then they took care of me as an egg, and everyone's like, you were an egg? It's not that weird. And I'm like, it's a little weird, buddy.
It's kind of weird.
It's normal for you guys, but you even said you're a small village. On there. And the other key takeaways from this is they even said, not only do I have to protect Chise because she's super rare, now we got to protect this other dude, Ivy, because he's rare as a species, because for thousands of years they were hunted for their skin, their blood, their eyes, and they still throw that Medusa thing as like, yeah, they can basically immobilize you with their looks, not turn you to stone, but just immobilize you. And I was like, okay, we get it. You know what this all means, though? Someone clapped Medusa cheeks back in like 1000 BC, and then we got all these human. I don't know, man.
Yeah, while getting a lot of this information, they make a contract that.
I feel like it's such a weak contract that it can be broken no matter what.
Really?
It was just a blood contract.
If you try to
it'll
speak
burn
it,
your throat. It'll blah, blah, blah. Was
Yeah.
it burn your throat or cut your hand?
Yeah.
If you try and tell other people about Ivy's like ability or whatever.
Well, it was both Ivy and
Chise.
yeah, her
Listen,
kind of
they're
dragon arm.
They're freshman mages. You're telling me someone can't walk up and be like, I guarantee you, Cheesecake's gonna get grabbed. Ivy's gonna grab. Like, tell me about Ivy. No, I can't tell you. I'll be hurt. She'll burn her throat a little bit, and someone will be like, oh, contract gone. Now tell me. They're low-level mages writing a low-level contract. I'm sure it'll mean something for now. But give it like 3 or 4 episodes where it's going to matter. I feel like
the only one that it wouldn't affect would be Chise, because she can basically heal. She's immortal. So that's the only one that it would affect. Everyone else, like, even the way that it was written, it wasn't like, oh, just burn the throat. It was like scorch the throat, then make him never speak.
I know that, but I'm just saying it's like they're freshmen that wrote. They know like, okay, it's okay magic, but it's not like, you can get a stronger mage come along. Someone's going to get interrogated, and they're just going to somehow destroy the contract. And then it'll get out. My guess is Ivy's getting killed this season. That's if my money was someplace, he's dead.
You're so quick on the Doom dead.
Yeah, let's kill some characters off, man. That's more than 5. That's too many.
Oh, your small brain can't handle more than 5?
No, you can handle up to 150. So if we were watching Dr. Stone, that would have been a great transition, but we're not. There's just too many characters, man. Give me 5 good characters. The rest, fuck them. Kill them off.
By the way, our 2 twins look a little sus. Just gonna be honest.
What, like terrorist kind of sus?
No,
or like
lesbianist
kind of sus?
More closer to that.
See, I jumped to let's murder people. Just like 2 people like the same gender kind of like each other.
You do realize they're twins, and B, the one with the long hair is a dude and the one with the short hair is a chick. It's all out of context. All of it.
You know what's not out of context?
Kubo.
Everything Kubo does is not out of context. I thought they were talking about Kubo. Well, let me communicate because it's finally back after basically a whole anime season. It stopped at episode 6. It's now picked up on episode 7. Excuse me. I keep saying big things happen. Not really big, but I fully thought. Remember the Dangers in My Heart, where she pulls out like an umbrella, and then she she says she doesn't have an umbrella, right? And the dude pulls it out, and then pulls out his raincoat, whatever. I thought this was maybe going to be a similar situation because Kubo really is trying to get with her boy on there, and I felt like that was going to be it. And then the whole thing was like, nah, let's just use the umbrella together, and then they do go use it together. I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely felt like a similar situation.
I feel because it's so long of a break, I don't feel as much for this show anymore. It's still adorable, but it's not like what it was. I felt like I should have rewatched all 6 episodes before this one and then got that reconnection to it. They just would have picked up where they left off.
Yeah, but it wasn't that long ago. Oh no, it was 6 weeks.
No. It would have been 6. So they stopped it. It would have been 12 weeks.
Okay. It's 12 weeks still isn't that long.
It's 3 months, man.
So?
It's 3 months. Just give me a little bit of well, the thing is you build up these.
They're
you
not
build
gonna
up
waste
these.
time with a recap.
Well, you build not a whole recap. I'm saying you build up these feelings throughout the whole season, and it's we're middle of the season. We're getting kind of this cool stuff, but then it's nothing for 3 months. Then you come back into it right away, as if nothing happened. It's
that's your fault.
That build up's kind of gone. No,
man.
Sorry, you're wrong.
Just watching the episode, I was like, yeah, this is exactly where it was. Everything is there. The kind of romance stuff. We do have a couple of shows that are. It almost feels like they're parodying each other. They're very close.
It's all romance shows.
Yeah.
There's not much else you can do with a romance show unless you make it more of a rom-com or a serious romance where you build up a big story.
Mm-hmm. Specifically with Kubo and the Dangers in My Heart, the chick is the one that is kind of making the core
the more
moves.
Dominant person.
Yeah.
It's just a role kind of reverse. I'm not saying they would parody each other, but it's just if you were to take both at the same time and I were to hand you both, which one is more interesting? I would tell you the Dangers in My Heart is way more interesting than Kubo. Kubo is just a mediocre, run-of-the-mill, here's a romance, here's a few cutesy things. There's nothing special about it. Even Tanikawa, I think all of them, Tanikawa has a few interesting things, but at the end of the day, I'm man, it's not boring watching it, but it's not I'm excited to watch it. Versus Dangers in My Heart, I'm oh, we're doing something new, something you normally don't see.
Tanikawa is definitely the weakest one. Between Kubo and Dangers, to me, they're on the exact same level because they both have a pretty good kind of baseline of here's our character and Dangers in My Heart. He's a little murdery, really stuck on that emo phase. With Kubo, and you do have to kind of remember, especially when they kind of have the rain scene where Junta just doesn't people can't see him. That's the kind of twist with this show, and Kubo kind of having the fun with that.
Well, I feel like they need to play it up a bit more when they do that whole they can't see me thing. They've used the same gimmick 4 or 5 times in the show. Use the same gimmick, but change it a little bit or go a little more extreme with it. Hey, let's dress him up as a girl and see if anyone notices him. Or, hey, let's dress him up in flashier clothes and see if anyone notices him. It's you're using the same gimmick, change it up a little bit. It's nah, it's oh, no one notices you. Here's the same thing again. No one notices you. In the exact same situation in the class. I'm just I don't know. I just feel
I don't feel like that. that's the case at all. Like there are different situations. Like even at one point, you know, they're having him like try to stand on the desk or the chair, and the teacher catches him. And
yeah, but that was all within like the first like 2 episodes, the first couple. But then we've now gone 6 episodes past that, or 5 episodes past, and it's like, His whole invisible thing, they should play it up more to him. But I mean, there's not much else to talk about in the show for this week, because I mean, we only had the episode, because we need to move on to Mashle, Magic and Muscle on there. Our boys week, just like someone else in the show, Magic Muscle. Boom. Okay, so big things happen in Magic and Muscle. Last time, boy gets in trouble with the police, ends up making a deal with these sketchy police to enter the Magic Academy to be the #1 magic guy in the world, right? They have marks in their face that show that they have magic powers. Everyone has it. If you don't have it, you're basically exiled. You put in a meat grinder, something along those lines. So you learn 2 things this week, or you learn a couple things. Some people have 2 marks on their face, and then you learned right at the end, because this is episode 4, 5, 6, you learn that some people have 3 or 4 marks on their face, which means they're super, super strong, like they're blessed by the gods or something. 1 stripe on their face, that's basically everyone in the world. 2 stripes, it's 1 in like 100,000. 3 stripes, it's like 1 in a million or something, or 1 in a couple million. And then there are some people that have 4 stripes, which is like once a generation kind of thing. So you'd figure that'll be the strongest dude on there. You only see him for like a second or 2 on there. But Mashle's great. I'll tell you why. Our boy gets in a fight. Of course, again, he just uses his muscle to beat everyone in a fight. But at one point, it has some of the greatest GIF ability within the show, because there's this guy, Lance Crown, is fighting Mash. And at one point, Lance grabs all of Mash's friends, puts them in a pot, and is like, hey, I'm going to kill them if you don't fight me. And in order to like get points to become the #1 mage in like the academy and then move up in the world, you get these things called coins, like silver coins, gold coins. But you get pieces of them. 5 pieces make a silver one, and blah, blah, blah. Stupid stuff like that. Mashle has 1. Lance has 2. He challenges him for those on there, because you can't fight in the school unless you wager these pieces. So that's kind of where the story's going. It's like, you just can't normally fight, you'll get in trouble. But if you wager pieces of like a coin, then it's okay. It's not like any old coin. It's like a certain coin. He goes to fight Lance, and the best thing comes out of the show. Everyone's using like wind magic, fire magic, rock magic. And at one point, Mash is like, oh shit, I'm trying to think of like what it is. Upper back muscle magic or whatever. I can't think of what the muscle group is. He's like, there we go. Bicep magic.
I mean, this is a bicep.
No, I was just trying to think of something he said.
Tricep?
Maybe he said, like, yeah, tricep. He's like, tricep magic, bicep form or whatever. And they're like, that's not magic. I've never heard of that. And it's just him flexing really hard and just going at the speed of light to stop this dude, because he beats him down. Like, he uses like 10 times gravity on Mashle. He's like, no human can stand this. And Mashle just gets up like it's no problem. Dude throws the jar that he has his friends in to set him up off the edge. Mashle does that whole, fake magic thing to run off, grab the pot, come back in it. Like, Goku Ultra Instinct just disappears, reappears. He's like, there's no way this kid was this fast on there. There's no way. And Mashle's like, we should stop fighting. You're not really a bad guy. It's like, you don't know that. He's like, the bottle he threw off the edge was empty. See? And then just throws the bottle away, because he did have the bottle with him. But that's not even the best part. You just have to watch the show to see how hilarious it is. The best part of the entire show is the dude, Lance, has a little pendant. It falls off him. Mash picks it up. It's got a picture of a little girl in it. And Mash immediately just stops. He's like stuttering really bad. He's like, well, you're a lolicon? He's like, I'm not a lolicon. That's my little sister. He's like, you like little girls? You're a lolicon still? It's like, no, I'm a sister con. I was like, well, hold the phone. You're a sister con? And Mash is like, somehow that's more disgusting. Goes into the whole backstory. And I reiterated the stripe thing, right? Because his sister has a disease that's uncurable, where her mark on her face slowly disappears, which is a whole plot point, whatever. And obviously the parents are immediately kind of disowning his little sister. And that's why Lance is like, I'm here to fight and protect for my sister. They become best friends.
Mm.
And then the next episode, after they do that, you're like, oh, Lance is going to be this terrible guy. It's going to be the rivalry. No, they become best friends. Apparently next episode, there's this other dude. He's not on this sheet right off the bat. I think his name is Veal.
Mm.
Fights him. And the whole thing is this dude can use rock magic. Our new dude, Barrett, pops up, goes to defend this girl, easily falls for girls. That's a whole thing. You watch Mashle.
He easily falls for girls? Like,
yeah. Like, they show one piece of affection. He's trying to act like this cool playboy dude, and he's like, praise me, ladies. Then a woman talks to him, and he shuts down because he doesn't know how to talk to a woman at all. Fights for this gal. Find out this gal is working for this evil school organization that's trying to perfect the world and get rid of it. You know, classic evil organization. Mashle goes to fight the guy, and the whole thing was like, if you can take 10 hits, this VL dude, from me, I'll give you this silver piece and I'll let the girl go. But the girl's in on it. Mashle beats the guy. Mashle takes 10 hits, and by 10 hits, I mean he destroys all the hits the guy gives him. Mashle punches this guy once. Dude starts throwing up blood. And the dude's like, okay, you got one lucky hit. He can't do this again. Of course, Mashle breaks through everything, punches him again. You just watch basically his ribcage just shatter, and he just starts throwing up blood. And Mashle's like, maybe we should call the fight here. You know, it's not fair for you. And the dude's like, I think we can call it here. That was, it's hard to like just talk about it solo because there's so much that happens that's so good that it's hard to explain in like
now
5 minutes or less.
My Vinland Saga problem.
No, Vinland Saga, all you have to say is, yo, they farmed again, that's it.
There's more than farming.
It's about the friends they made along the way.
Goddamn right. And the slaves they sold while going.
Speaking of slaves, hey, NASA.
Yeah, hold on.
Tanikawa over the moon for you. We watched episodes, 4, 5, 6?
Yeah.
Technically 7 came out, but none of us watched that. I think 7 came out like yesterday. Or something.
No, it was Ancient Magus Bride had that one episode.
Both of them had an episode. I watched both of them today, and both of them had an episode 7 that I didn't watch.
Oh, the Tanikawa didn't have an episode 7 yesterday.
Tanikawa boring. There, I said it.
I would very much enjoy watching Kubo more of like, hey, he isn't noticeable by anyone, instead of the truly, truly repetitive nature of like, oh, we're a married couple. Like, oh, I don't want to see you in a bath. Like,
no, he definitely wanted to see her in a bath.
Like,
he just couldn't fess up and be a man about that.
Overly kind of bashfulness of every single scenario that exists.
They should have got over it at the end of season 1, and season 2 should have been, because she still has a mysterious backstory that they've mentioned like once this entire season.
Mm-hmm.
This is a show that did really good in season 1. It was fun. It was playful. It was not 100% original, but kind of original in how it went about it. To season 2 is like, oh no, this is my wife. Oh no, I don't know what to do with her. I don't know. I went all right with that, but it was like, she's naked. Oh no, I can't see her naked.
We put this one on the list because we needed to round things out, and
well, no, someone said they want to watch season 2 of it.
I said I definitely didn't want to watch this, and you're like, well, we need like one more because Kubo isn't back.
You didn't like the other one I had, which was the Weeby one, the Otaku in Another World, I think is what it was.
Wasn't feeling that one either. But right now on my anime list, Tanikawa has a 7.91.
I don't know who likes. Listen, I think it's because it's a kind of cheesy.
I think it's the sunken cost fallacy at this point.
I gotta commit.
Yeah, you are season 2 in. You're halfway through. Like, yeah, it's good. It's real good.
Listen, it's good. Like, you're embarrassed for the character kind of comedy. If I think if we went into the mindset of wanting to enjoy it, we probably would enjoy it more. I just watch it and I'm like, man, it's just like they did the same exact skit in season 1 almost. They just changed up the location.
When watching shows, I can tell just how much I'm enjoying what I'm watching based on kind of like how many times I have to like take a small kind of break in between stuff or pause it to. So like Insomniacs, I watched all 3 episodes like uninterrupted without, pausing. This one, it's like every 10 minutes I'm like clicking pause and I'm like, I need to go like do something else.
Yeah, that's 100% you thing.
I
watched all 3 just back to back. I think it was all right. I'm just saying
it's very boring.
I think it's still interesting enough to keep you invested, but I think it's because we're watching Skip and Loafer.
Mm-hmm.
Kubo Won't.
We have a lot of romance.
Well, I'm trying to think. So we have Kubo. Sorry, I'm going down the whole list. So the first thing we have here is Skip and Loafer, Kubo, Insomniacs, Tanikawa. Then we have one more. Dangers in My Heart. So we're watching 15 shows this season now with Kubo coming back.
Mm-hmm.
A third of them are romance, but it is spring. So it's like that spring romance kind of vibe. But it's like when you watch Ancient Magus Bride.
C-List is also heavy romance.
Well, I'm just thinking like you're going from Ancient Magus Bride this week and immediately you go into like Insomniacs. So I watched it the way it is on the list. I watched Insomniacs, then I watched Magus Bride and I was like, oh, this is back to back great. Then I watched Mashle and then I watched this. And I think the problem is I need to watch this first, then watch the other ones. Because you're going from like Insomniacs is a nice intro to your week. Then you go into Magus and it's kind of that one step up of like a lot of stuff's happening. Then Mashle, which like whole bunch of stuff is happening, to then Tanikawa where it's like slice of life romance, which people really love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What happened in those 3 episodes? They went to a hot spring and he fixed a fucking vacuum.
He went to a luxury hot spring. Excuse you.
He met the grandma, essentially guardian, and
that signed off as an official witness to the wedding that somehow our super smart boy didn't remember.
No idea. They of course re-alluded to the fact that
do they still have the plant that they got?
The moon rock?
No, they got a plant when they got married because they signed that thing. I wonder if they still have that.
I have no idea. Might have burnt down.
Oh, that's right. Their house did burn down with everything in it. So they might have. You forgot there was an important scene this week.
She naked?
They were cleaning the bathtubs in a bikini for some reason.
Yeah, and even with that, where like the so on the nose like fan service stuff, where literally the one chick, the younger one, I forget her name.
There's a lot of on the nose fan service in Anime Justice. What do you want?
Kaname.
Kanzume?
No, Kaname. She literally at one point after Aya and Chisote. Yeah.
You got this. I believe in you, buddy.
They are basically just pulling off swimsuits. It's like, yeah, that's what a beach episode or like a bathhouse episode is all about. Like literally so on the nose where it's like, I don't even enjoy this.
I didn't hear you complaining during Demon Slayer.
Demon? What?
When she was getting out of the bath?
Because it was like a quick thing and
it was obvious fan service.
Sure, whatever. But
double standard having
there's
ass.
Literally not a character going, I bet you enjoyed that, didn't ya?
No, I think they said that once in the show, but it wasn't in the same scene.
Nah. Like, it's so ridiculously
Didn't Dangers
on
in
the
My
nose.
Heart kind of have a... I guess it was technically his imagination, so it wasn't quite 100% fan service when he's basically, in his mind, doing the deed to the big chick in his head on there.
Oh, it was just... took me out. It was a joke where at the end of the joke I went, nah, I didn't like that at all.
What did you watch this last?
No.
When did you watch this? What did you watch before? What did you watch after?
So my watch order and I went by service, not like by the list, just because it's easier. Just staying on the website. I did Ancient Magus Bride, then Kubo and Insomniacs.
I feel like next week what you should do is you should watch this first.
No, I don't want to watch this first.
No, well, the next time you do it, just watch this first and see if it changes and try and go into it with the, I do want to watch this more mentality.
but
I think that
don't.
was my problem because I watched all these hype shows and then I watched this.
Well, I still like feel like I do a good job of intersplicing it with like good shows and then like some
But
of those
no,
in the middle.
I know splicing with good shows. I'm just saying, like, watching a show like Magus Bride that has really good animation, half decent directing, and like a good story overall. But then you go to Tanikawa, which is meant to be a slice of life romance, which really isn't your category to begin with.
I mean, it just depends because like Fruits Basket, I enjoy a lot.
He enjoys the king. He enjoys the king of rom-com slice of life animes. That's like saying how I do enjoy like action. I watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Well, I've also watched like Horror Mia and enjoyed that. Like
Mid.
Quince, like
Really mid.
whatever. But clearly for me, rom-com or slice of life isn't a problem. It's just this show is boring.
Is Horror Mia technically categorized as slice of life?
Yeah. It's romance.
I thought it was a drama romance. I thought Quince was a rom-com. And we'll have to look after this because we're about out of time here.
Yeah.
That's all I got this week. Again, I'm Matt. It's Justus. We'll be doing the A-list next time, which includes Demon Slayer, which should be good. And Oshinoko.
Yeah,
Mid.
and Oshinoko, which we'll do a thing for that.